All right, so I want to do a quick overview of this new fancy wine glass that I got. I have had a few different wine glasses already in my wine drinking career. And this latest one I thought was the most cool in terms of like techie, new, high quality, all that kind of jazz, which appeals to me. That's what I like. So these guys, I mean, if you have looked at all, I'm sure you've heard of this brand before. Riedel, I believe is how you say it. And these are new-ish. I think the last like year or two, these guys came out, these wine wings series. There's one for each of the major varietals. I have just the Cabernet Sauv one, so that's all you're going to get to see for now. Maybe I'll get some more in the future. So let's take a look at the fancy box. This thing's pressed in on the side here. Nothing really too crazy on that side. And this is just for one. So yeah, it's quite a big glass. It's way bigger actually than I thought it was. So just for comparison, before we even like take it out of the box, that's a normal wine glass. Normal. And yeah, so you can tell this is quite a bit bigger. Okay, so let's open this guy up here. And I already have one of these, but this is just an additional one because we wanted to get some for when people come over, that kind of thing. But the box is pretty neat, and so I thought it would be cool to show that to people. And it's all purple in there, that's fancy. And put that back there, something like that. And let's see. Dishwasher Safe. That's actually one of my favorite things about these. I've had some other glasses and they've broken the dishwasher, or I had one break just like washing it by hand even. They actually say like dishwasher is somewhat safer as long as you put it in there right, because the pressure is not even like when you're in there with your hands. So you might put a lot more pressure on this one side, for example, or something like that, and then it, boom, kind of break. So yeah, sorry, that's a little dirty. But let's take a look at this beast in here. So this is brand new, untouched. Give that a look. Comes with this cool little engraving here, tells you the type, because there's a bunch of them. There's one for like, you know, Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot Noir and all that jazz. And comes with a little label on there. And yeah, so let's talk about some of this stuff. And just again for comparison, you can see just how much bigger this one is. It is quite a bit larger. So before I compare it to that one, just want to point out some of the marketing stuff that they talk about. So you see how much surface area there is at the bottom here. So like as your wine is sitting in here, and they say actually to not fill it up above this, there's like kind of a whatever, what do you call this, an edge, an extrusion kind of down here, a bulb. So you shouldn't fill it up past this. They want you to actually like have it somewhere like here, and that's so that the wine can actually sit on this big nice flat bottom and have the most surface area possible, so that air and the gases and all that can either escape, or the air, the oxygen can mix with it and all that fun jazz. So that's just a little pro tip. So, but they did that on purpose. They want people to do that. Some other things is the stem here I don't know, they talked about like the structural integrity of it a bunch. And then the big wide base of this too makes it very stable when it's on. I've actually had some glasses where the bottom, this is like so unstable that like when you put it down, it doesn't, it's unbalanced. Like this one actually almost, like look how small the base of this is compared to like up here. And it just, every time I put it down, I just feel like it's not as comfortable. Like this, it's very like easy to put down on the table. I know that's like a weird little nitpicky thing, but I freaking hate this. I don't like these glasses at all, personally. But yeah. So another thing that they talk about is just how big this guy is here. So, and then the shape of this. So all of this lets the nice smelling aromas kind of just like sit in here as this big surface area kind of lets them up, and it just lets them kind of sit in here. So when you're having yourself a sniff of your delicious cab, you get a lot more of that. It's more concentrated. It's not going to make the wine better. It's just going to concentrate what's there. In fact, if you put bad wine in here, I would actually say that you will notice it more. At least in my experience. If you put bad wine in here, you will smell the bad wine much more than if you're just in some random wine glass. So, but it's really neat though, because if you do have a good wine, like a really expensive, this pairs amazing with it. You just get all this nice complexity in the nose off of it. And I love that it kind of like does its own kind of decantering, if you will, there. Now I decanter also, but like this also just kind of seems like it helps the situation as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's the big bulb. That's why there's this big, large area here, and then big, nice surface for you to put this down. Very strong stem, and then they made a big deal about the edge of this. This is a laser cut edge, and you can see how thin this is. Wow, look at that, right? That is a very nice thin edge. Now, I never thought that mattered at all until I got a really nice one, and then I drank out of this, and then I drank out of like a glass. So this is also crystal, by the way, lead free, all that jazz. You can check out the website for the exact specifics, but this is crystal. And when I have glasses made of just standard glass at the store, or sorry, at like a restaurant, I'll notice it. It's like there's this big giant bunch of gunk in my mouth compared to when I'm having wine out of this. And I don't know, it just kind of goes into like that premium experience. So I think it's worth it. I like it a lot. And even between these, so this is also crystal. This is also a somewhat well-known brand. But look at the difference. This is a lot tighter edge, and you will totally notice it if you drink out of this versus drink out of this. This edge it feels like it's not there at all. It's just like, yeah. So it's interesting too, because this is also thinner, yet like when you hold it and you like feel it, like the strength and the integrity of the crystal, it just seems so much better than this. This just seems thick, and initially, you know, you want to be like, oh, that's quality, but like, I don't know. I just feel like if you were to feel these two things next to each other, you would be picking this all day. So yeah. Other things, you know, I've had one of these for almost a year, not quite a year. Like I said, this is just a new one that we got for when guests come over. And we've had them in the dishwasher, have had no problems at all. Again, you do have to be careful. You need to put this so that other stuff isn't touching it, because that's how they'll break. It's not really the water or anything like that. It's just when another glass is like banging against it. So you want to make sure there's space around it. We actually wash these kind of like on their own, the decanter, these, and maybe like a couple of other glasses, and we just do it like that. Another thing, just a little tip, well, no, I'm not gonna say that. I was just gonna say, make sure you're not washing it with a bunch of other stuff, because then you'll get nasty odors. That's another thing too, like if you don't wash these well, you will totally smell whatever gunk is in there. So you want to make sure these are nice and clean, which you should anyways. I mean, come on, why are you drinking fancy wine if you don't have a nice clean glass? But yeah, I like these quite a bit. I may get some other ones, so you might see some more reviews of these. And again, this is just kind of a size comparison. I love the size. At first I was like, oh man, that's huge, but like the smell and just the quality of the glass and the fact that it does kind of decantering in there, and that it's just so like, it's so light and elegant. Like this weighs less. I bet I should weigh them, but I bet this weighs less than this one does, even though this is smaller. So it's nice and light, and yeah, just a very premium experience. So again, I'm recommending them, but you know, to each their own. I like them quite a bit, and thought I would share that with fellow wine drinkers. So, okay, thanks for watching.